someone has to step in and say, okay, look, this is what a good marriage is, and this is what a bad marriage is, so that you have a goal that you can aim for so that you can actually find this thing. And so if somebody's sitting here watching right now and they're thinking, I have a bad marriage, or we can't communicate. And I've said it, most of the time, people who think that they have a communication problem, they don't have a communication problem. If you're watching today and you're thinking, my husband and I just can't communicate. Very often, people who have a communication problem, they think it's a communication problem, but what it really is an agreement problem.
We need to be in agreement.
We need to be in agreement. Ever wonder, how does the word apply to your life? Can it change you? Yes, it can. The Word of God can change your life. You are going to be so glad you tuned in today. This is going to be a special show, something different than what we normally do. Of course, we're still determined to get you the truth in every way that we can. We want you to know the truth so that that truth will set you free. And I just wrote a book called Handle with Care: How to Beat the Odds, Surpass Every Statistic, and Build a Marriage that will last forever. That's what we want. Love that will last a lifetime. Right now, I'm going to be joined by Damon Davis, and we're going to share together and talk about what it means to really build a lasting love. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Damon Davis, and I want to welcome you to a very special program. If you're married, thinking about getting married, if your marriage is off the rails or headed to a destination that isn't what you signed up for, in other words, you believe that marriage was to last forever, well, you're not going to want to miss a minute of this program. You know, I've met and worked with some of the most amazing people worldwide, leaders who have the ability to shape our thinking, change our perception on something, and at the end of the day, the ability to speak into your life and put on track the things that you need on track today. This program is about an amazing book, Handle with Care, by international speaker, author, life coach, and pastor, Andy Thompson. Andy, welcome to the program.
I'm so glad to be here with you.
You know, this subject of marriage is a hot topic right now for many people watching. But let me ask you straightforward, right at the beginning of the program, why marriage? Why a topic of marriage? Why dedicate an entire book to this subject?
Well, you know, I'm interested in people being successful in every area of their life. And I think that that's the call of any pastor. I'm a pastor of a large congregation, and I want my people to be successful in the four major areas. And those four major areas are spiritually, that's obvious; physically, your health and how you take care of yourself; number 3, your relationships; and then number 4, your money, your finances. And so when we talk about relationships, of course we've got to talk about the family. It's the first thing that God created. He made the family before he even made the church. It's not Pastor Adam and First Lady Eve. It's Adam and Eve. And he creates this family and walks with them and talks with them and has a relationship with them. And even when we see how people are born, God could have done it any kind of way. He could have had little eggs hatch everywhere. It could have been like Alien or something, but that's not how it happened. He said, I want these two people to come together, and then there's going to be a child that's going to be birthed out of this love relationship, and you're going to raise the child because God knows best. And that foundation of family is so important to the individual development of a person. And so I see the attack. I see that the enemy is trying to undermine the individual development of a person, their strength, their self-esteem, who they are. That so much of that is founded in the strength of family. And so I thought to myself, okay, we've got to get back to family. And of course, I see the statistics that everybody sees. 50% of marriages ending in divorce. And I thought to myself, that should not be. Marriage is something that God created. Marriage is God's song.
Right.
I love marriage. It's a great thing. And I'm bothered by the way that the media depicts marriage as if it's this terrible thing, ball and chain. You know, I heard a comedian say that you're either married and bored or single and lonely. And I thought, that's crazy. That should not be the situation. I'm not married and bored. I'm married and happy. I'm married and excited. I'm married and can't wait to see the woman again. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to talk about this subject, and I'm going to write about this subject, what it really is, what a real marriage is about, not just the media's depiction or the world's depiction, but what God really meant when he created this thing called marriage.
And you know, Andy, you're very straightforward is how I would describe it. You know, you say things in your book that people are thinking but not willing to say. Why are marriages failing? You quoted some statistics a few minutes ago. I think 60% of marriages, first marriages, end in divorce. Second marriages are higher. Third marriages are just doomed to fail. What's going on? And why specifically in the church are we seeing this thing called marriage right off the rails?
Well, I mean, what you're saying is exactly correct. I mean, 41% of first marriages are ending in divorce, 63% of second marriages, 73% of third marriages, depending on what statistic you look at. The numbers are right around there, and it averages out to 50%. Wow. And the thing that's really alarming to me is that there's as much divorce in the church as there is in the world, and even more, that Christians have a higher rate of divorce than any other belief system. And so that's something, as a Christian and as a pastor, I did ask myself the question, why do Christians get divorced? Why are we seeing so much divorce in the church?
Right, you would expect that as believers, we're the very ones that would hold it together.
But you know, actually, when you look at Christianity and America, they're very reflective of one another because the country was founded by Christians. The founding fathers were men of faith. Sure. And so a part of what we're seeing is we're seeing America and the church reflected in one another. And I know why we're seeing as much divorce in the church, and we're seeing it in America as well. And there's a couple primary reasons why we're seeing that. I think one of the main reasons, number one, is that when it comes to marriage, we basically want love to be an instant thing, and we're not necessarily prepared for the work that love is going to take. Sure. We have what I call a montage mentality, you know, just like, you know, when you see Rocky, you know, the movie, and, you know, at 1 minute he's not in shape, and then Mickey says, what are we waiting for? And then within a 3-minute period, he does 8 months of work.
Yeah, he's in fighting weight and ready to take the title.
Chickens, he's fast, sure. You know, and we like to think that way. We are in love with the idea of greatness, but not necessarily the process to get there.
So we can see marriage, we can see the benefits of marriage, but somehow we don't understand the steps.
That's right.
To get to building the kind of marriage that lasts. Is that what the book talks about?
Well, see, love at first sight is something that we just love that. We think, oh God, love at first sight. Okay, so that means that I see you, I fall in love with you, and now everything's supposed to be great and perfect and awesome. Yeah. And that's not the case. That's really just the beginning of what it really means to be in a relationship with somebody, and especially if you're going to be in a marriage relationship with somebody, because sadly enough, it is absolutely possible to love someone and maybe even fall in love with somebody that may not necessarily be the best person for you, because that love is subjective, and you are making some choices based on who you are at the time and what you know about yourself and your maturity or lack thereof, and so you have this expectation that once I say I love you and you say I love you back, everything's perfect, everything's supposed to be great, and not necessarily understand it's going to take some work, and especially if we're going to build marriage. Sure. That a marriage is a totally different situation altogether. And that's the other thing that we see within the church and in the Christian world, is that we got to a point, especially about divorce, in which divorce became almost an unpardonable sin. And we were so dead set against divorce in the church. Right. And it was just such a terrible thing. Sure. When the Lord said, those whom God has joined together, let not man put asunder, we started to treat marriage as if it was unbreakable. Right. And I think the Lord was saying, look, I put you together. Now be careful about this thing. When you get it, I want you to handle it with care.
Got it.
And I think the fact that we're living in a time now in which marriage is no longer guaranteed. When we say, I love you, we mean forever. But when we say, I do, we don't mean forever. We mean as long as you act right.
Sure.
That's where we are now. So we're seeing divorce in the church. We're seeing divorce in leaders in the church. And a part of what I'm saying in the book is that as a result of that, because we're seeing so much divorce, because we realize that marriage is no longer guaranteed. And I'm not a proponent of marriage. I would love for marriage to last forever. I want it to last forever. I'm not excited about the divorce rate. But what I'm saying is that as a result of it, we're going to have to take marriage much more seriously. We're not going to be able to take it for granted. You're not going to be able to just not speak to your husband. You're not going to be able to just be rude to your wife forever anymore, because the stigma and the negativity of divorce, it's not really there any longer. You're not going to be shamed into staying with somebody that you can't stand. So you're going to have to handle this thing with care.
And you're going to understand the steps.
You're going to have to work hard
to put it together, keep it together, and make it last. Let me back up on some fundamental things that I know people watching are asking themselves. And this would speak specifically to people that are thinking about marriage. Beyond the obvious, Andy, why are people getting married? What is the point of it, really?
I think that marriage is such a powerful thing, and that's the thing I'm so excited about the book and even this whole Save Marriage campaign that we've been talking about, because let's be honest, we need marriage. We need that commitment. Even though today we're living in a world in which we want the benefits of covenant without the commitment of it, but deep down in ourselves, we know how we are. We know we're human. We know that we can be fickle. We know that when things get tough, we can give up too easily. And marriage is a commitment that kind of holds you together, maybe past some tough times. I mean, let's be honest, even today, marriage is a legal agreement. Let's stay together. Let's try to work this thing out, because we didn't just start dating and live together. No, we decided we're going to make a commitment to one another, and we're going to be married together because I want to grow old with somebody. But also, I want to have confidence in something beyond just you saying that you love me, because I realize that you feel that way now, but will you keep feeling that way? And what if I make you mad? And what if you're upset with me? Are you just going to walk out the door?
What if I gain weight? What if I lose my hair?
What if my legs get chopped off? What if I get run over by a truck? No. But if these things happen,
how committed are you?
How committed are you? We realize that we're human and we need something bigger than us to be connected to.
So what's the person feeling? Right now, they're watching this program and the marriage is on the skids. They don't know what to do. They've read every book they can find. They've talked maybe to their pastor. They've even spent time talking to their partner to try to sort it out. What are they feeling? What do you see at that moment that the marriage is off the rails? What's going on in the mind and the heart of the person watching?
I think one of the biggest challenges for people that are watching today, even especially people that are struggling, is that you can just feel hopeless. Because you have this expectation that love is an instantaneous thing, that it doesn't require any work. So if it's not working for you, something must be wrong with you. Maybe it's the wrong person. Maybe he's just not right for me. Maybe we're just not right for each other, because we have this fantasy fairy tale story of soulmates, and we meet and lock eyes, and it's this instantaneous thing. You know, it's like Twilight, you know, what our kids are in love with. We're vampires and we want to live together forever, and we just have this instant connection that we can't explain, and everything is perfect. We barely know one another and we're ready to be together forever. And so when people see that fail, because it's just not realistic, many people who are watching, they're thinking something's wrong with me. I'm broken in some way.
Sure. Maybe I'm not good enough.
Maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. Or I thought that she was the one, but she's just not the one. And what I'm saying is, you can't allow that hopelessness to overtake you, because that's not the problem. Love is not the problem. Divorce is not the problem.
And divorce is not the solution.
The divorce is not the solution, but it's certainly not the problem. It's not even the main issue. We focus on it so much in America and even in the church that we miss the real issue of marriage. And the real issue in marriage, it's the absolute real issue that we're facing in America today and in the church. And I even think that it's one of the reasons why even it's what pastors and even counselors are missing, is that we are so determined to fight off divorce and to stop people from divorce that we don't focus on what the real issue is in the marriage.
Which is?
Definition.
Definition.
The definition of marriage.
The definition of what marriage is.
What marriage actually is. And we never actually sat down and talked about, okay, well, what is it that we're actually trying to do? What are we actually trying to achieve? But if we then determine, okay, this is what marriage is. This is what we're coming together to do. And when we define what marriage is, it even changes what we define love to be.
Wow. Is it too late for those watching? They're already been married. They've been married 10 years. It's already rocky. Maybe on the edge. Is it too late to start over and define it?
No, absolutely. I don't think it's too late at all. As a matter of fact, I think that the lack of definition has been the problem. The expectation that love is just going to conquer all and it's going to be okay, that's been the problem. That's the big thing that we're missing, okay? If I say to you, I want to live in a house with you, and you say, great, let's live in a house together, but we can't define what a house is, and we're just staying outside, living on the grass.
You've got a problem.
And getting rained on, and we're catching colds, and we're getting sick, and that inevitably there's going to be an issue. We're focusing as if our problem is our commitment to one another, but that may not necessarily be the commitment. We may really have been committed together, but if we can't define what a house is, if we can't define what marriage is, then we have no real goal to point at. And that's a part of the challenge, is that everybody just wants marriage to be what they think it is to them. Well, this is what marriage is to me. Well, this is being a good wife to me. Well, this is being a good husband to me. And if we're unable to say no, someone has to step in and say, okay, look, this is what a good marriage is, and this is what a bad marriage is, so that you have a goal that you can aim for, so that you can actually find this thing. And so if somebody's sitting here watching right now and they're thinking, I have a bad marriage, or we can't communicate. And I've said it, most of the time, people who think that they have a communication problem, they don't have a communication problem. If you're watching today and you're thinking, my husband and I just can't communicate. Very often, people who have a communication problem, they think it's a communication problem, but what it really is an agreement problem. An agreement problem. That's one of the first definitions if I'm going to define marriage, one of the first things I'm going to talk to you about. We need to be in agreement. We need to be in agreement.
And you know, it really is what premarital counseling is all about. Rather than wait for the problem, find out at the front end whether or not you're in agreement with the person that you're planning to spend the rest of your life with. I'm Damon Davis, and I want to thank you for being here with us today. Andy, this has been so motivating, it's been inspiring, and you know what? It's been encouraging. Andy, would you greet the person, speak to them, and tell them, as we close this program, why they need to take action right now and get this amazing collection for themselves or someone that they love?
The most important commodity that you have, say it all the time, the most valuable thing that you have is your relationship. And if something is valuable, you have to treat it as if it's valuable. Nothing is more important than your love relationship. You can always go to school. You can always get more money. You can always get another car. But your marriage relationship, someone that you care about, someone that cares about you, there was something that attracted you to one another. You fell in love. You found something about the person that was so exciting and so irresistible. That's not gone. It's just covered with issues and difficulties and problems. This system can knock those issues out, can help you get down to the real deal issue so that you can discover the love that's always been there. That love is still there. And many of you, part of the reason why you're so angry with the person is because you really do care. You really do love them. That's why they can cause such anger and such passion from you, because deep down, you're disappointed because you love them. This system, this book, will help you clear away the clutter so that you can get back to why you were together in the first place, and you can find a love that will last forever. It is absolutely possible. It absolutely can work. It's not too late. Marriage is forever and you can have it. It's God's song and you're able to sing it. You can do it. Don't give up. It's not too late. Marriage can last forever.
We're going to go to a break. The announcer is going to tell you how you can take advantage of this amazing book and system to save your marriage, get your marriage on the right track, and make the difference in your life that it's designed to be for you. We'll be right back, and Andy's going to pray for you, and then we have a very special gift for those of you that have tuned in today. We'll be right back.
Marriage, an institution, suffering in America, nearly dead. The government has redefined it. The media has made it a mockery. Divorce rates are at an all-time high. This institution, marriage, the biblical design of it, God's plan for it, is under attack and hanging on by threads. Andy Thompson is asking you to help save marriage right now.
I love marriage. It's a great thing. And I'm bothered by the way that the media depicts marriage as if it's this terrible thing, ball and chain. You know, I heard a comedian say that you're either married and bored or single and lonely. And I thought, that's crazy. That should not be the situation. I'm not married and bored. I'm married and happy. I'm married and excited. I'm married and can't wait to see the woman again. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to talk about this subject and I'm going to write about this subject. What it really is. What a real marriage is about. Not just the media's depiction or the world's depiction, but what God really meant when He created this thing called marriage.
In his nationally distributed breakthrough new book, Handle with Care, Andy Thompson lifts the lid on the deliberate attack on God's biblical blueprint of an institution that has shaped America and made it strong. Then he reveals the step-by-step insights to equip you with the principles and understanding necessary to find the right mate, nurture the right relationship that lasts, and a 21-point discovery system to save marriage and succeed at what God intended marriage to be from the beginning. Compiled from over 20 years of counseling couples from all walks of life, Handle with Care is no flimsy read. It's a straightforward, no-holds-barred disruption in your outlook, thinking, and strategy to make love and marriage work, and provides you with real answers, truth to what to do now to fix what's broken and make I Do last forever. This powerful book is at the center of the Handle with Care Toolkit, which also includes the complete and unedited behind-the-scenes interview where Andy walks through the chapters of the book, reveals steps to repair communication breakdowns, jumpstarts a godly sex life, and other things about marriage that few have the guts to talk about, but that can make the difference for your marriage today. But that's not all. As part of this powerful collection, you'll receive the 2 most requested DVD series from the acclaimed Real Love series, the Real Love Marriage Edition and the Real Love Marriage Seminar. In these 2 power-packed series, you'll laugh and cry as Andy Thompson gives edgy relationship insight for couples, singles, those who are dating, and those who are looking for the right mate. These resources sold separately would be over $100, but exclusive to the Handle with Care Toolkit through this television offer, you can get this entire collection for your love gift today of only $79. That's almost a $30 savings right now. You'll receive the Handle with Care book, the uncut full-length behind-the-scenes interview, the 2 Real Love DVD series, all for your gift of only $79. And when you call now, Andy wants to give you at no additional charge the Real Love workbook to go along with the DVD series and 2 Handle with Care wristbands that Andy asks that you wear proudly with thousands who are standing with Andy on this mission to declare marriage is God's institution. That's 6 powerful resources for your generous love gift of only $79. And each toolkit donation provides support to Pastor Andy's mission to restore marriage to God's biblical intention. It's not too late to get a fresh start in your marriage and to help others realize that a godly marriage is possible and can last forever. Don't wait another moment. Call now.
Wasn't that awesome? Hopefully you have made the decision right now to call the number on the screen to get this amazing book and this system into your life, into your home, into your heart to handle that marriage with care. Pastor Andy, if you would, I want you to pray for the person that's here watching. Pray over their marriage, pray over their life, pray over their future. And listen, you may not have been able to get this book today. You may not be able to get this collection, and that's all right. We have a very special gift for you. If you'll just call the number on the screen, tell the communicators that are standing by to receive you, hey, I would love to get a copy of the show that you saw today for a gift of any amount. Look, we don't care if it's $2, $5, $10, whatever God puts on your heart. Just help us with the shipping and handling, and we'll get a copy of this amazing interview to you to help make a difference in your life. Andy, let's pray.
Let's pray together. Lord, we just want to thank you that you care about us, and you care about that person that's tuning in right now. God, you know their heart. You see what's going on. And God, you are the author of life, and you are the one who created the marriage relationship. You're the one who put Adam and Eve together. You're the one that said something's missing and created Eve to be a helpmeet to Adam. God, we know that you are the author of it, and those whom you have joined together, we're not going to let man tear it asunder. We're not going to let our ideas and our fears and our worries destroy what you have created. God, I pray for every couple that's watching. God, I pray for every family that's represented, that you'll bring peace and forgiveness, that, Lord, you'll bring us back together, that, God, you'll do a work that only you can do. Some that are watching need a miracle, but you're a miracle working God. Have your way in that couple's life. Have your way in their relationship. Do a work that only you can do. And we'll promise to bless you. We promise right now to give you the glory and the honor for what you do, for what you make of us, for what you do in us, how you save marriage. We promise to honor you. In Jesus' name, amen. I am passionate about your marriage working. I absolutely believe in the institution of marriage. I've been married to the same woman going on 23 years, and I still love her. I still like her. Not only do I love her, but I like her. I believe that your marriage can beat the odds. You can get this book. It'll be a blessing to you. It can transform the way you see marriage. I don't care what the statistics say. I don't care if they're saying that 50% of marriages end in divorce. Not your marriage. It's not too late for you to save it. It's not too late for you to have the kind of marriage you always wanted to have. You fell in love to stay together forever. Let's do that. We'll give you the tools to help you make your marriage work. And it'll put a smile on your face, and you'll realize that love is everything you always thought it could be.
If you are ever in the Raleigh-Durham area, come experience Pastor Andy live at World Overcomers Christian Church, located at 2933 South Miami Boulevard in Durham, NC. Here at WOCC, our mission is simple: to empower people to have balanced victory for a God-designed life. Join us on Sundays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., or 12:30 p.m., and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
We want to see you right here at World Overcomers.
For more information, visit online at www.woccrtp.com.